This is a tutorial for the song Two of Us. This is one of my favourite songs by the Beatles, and its development features heavily in the Get Back documentary by Peter Jackson. I found myself trying to play along with the song whilst watching the film and quickly realised that it wasn't quite as straightforward as I initially thought. There seemed to be some sort of unexpected timing changes happening in the verse and chorus. So anyway, long story short, here's my interpretation of what I think is actually going on with Two of Us. Please feel free to leave a comment if you have other ideas or suggestions. Before we get into the song, please consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out with making more of these video tutorials in the future. So the song is in G major, well at least the verse and the chorus are. The bridge of the song is actually in the parallel minor key of G minor, but we'll get into that in a bit. The intro is a one-bar phrase or riff played by Paul McCartney on an acoustic guitar, or ukulele in our case, which is this. And that gets repeated 4 times. Let me just talk you through that. So what I'm playing here is I'm fretting the C and the A string on the ukulele, the first string from the floor, the A string, and the third string from the floor, the C. And I'm playing the string sequence, not the notes, but the string sequence, C, A, C, A. Then I play nothing on the third beat of the bar, then I play the A again, then the C, and lastly pick the open E string to finish. So altogether it sounds like this. Like I say, that's repeated 4 times. So for the intro of the song, the riff is played through once on its own, and then it's joined by the drums in bar 2. There's a 3-note pickup on the guitar at the end of bar 2 on beats and 4 and of bar 2, before the second guitar and the bass line joins in for bar 3 and 4, and the vocal starts on bar 5 effectively. So the notes for the pickup on the second guitar are D, E and F sharp. I'm playing those on the 2nd fret of the C string, the open E, and then the 2nd fret of the E string. I will demo this all now so you can hear how it sits with the bass and the drums and the second guitar. This is also used later in the song to lead us into the second verse and then again into the outro of the song. The chords are not difficult, but as I mentioned, the song has an interesting meter with different time signature changes throughout the verse and the chorus. So let's look at the verse first. So the chords in the verse are G major, C major, then we have a C major chord but with a B in the bass, which doesn't really work on the ukulele with the tuning, so we're going to play a C major 7 shape, which is effectively a C major chord with a B note added, and then lastly an A minor 7. The 2 lines of the verse are mostly in 4/4 with 2 bars of G, but then in bar 3 there's a bar of 2/4 with just 2 more beats of G, and then we go back to 4/4 for the 4th bar that has the C taking the first 2 beats, then the C/B, or C major 7, taking beats 3 and 4, and then finally we have a whole bar of A minor 7, which is also in 4/4. This whole 5-bar sequence is then repeated for the second line of the verse. So I've shown the chord changes and the meter for the score in the vocal harmony below. Even if you don't read music, it should help you with understanding the chord changes over the lyrics and the time signatures. So if I count the beats of the bars whilst playing just a straight down up down up down up pattern, it should sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's repeated again in the second line. In the verse, both John and Paul are playing rhythm on the acoustic guitar, and it's hard to decipher exactly who's playing what, but I think they're both essentially just playing a straight down up down up down up pattern, with John perhaps emphasising the offbeat on the strums in the pattern, so a bit like this. This pattern obviously works over varying time signatures, because if you're playing in a bar of 4 you're playing down up down up down up down up, and in a bar of 2 down up, or a bar of 3 down up down up down up. So hopefully that makes sense. Paul also plays a syncopated fill on the guitar in the bar of A minor at the end of each line, which is obviously optional but goes something like this. So counted rhythmically, this would be 1 and a 2 and 4 and. So a down on the 1 and the and after 1, an up on the a, and then a down on the numbered beat 2, and then up on the ands, a down on the 4, and an up on the and. I'll do that, demonstrate that once again. So I'll demonstrate the verse now with that in it, so hopefully it will make sense. Two of us riding nowhere, standing someone's on a plane. You and me Sunday driving, not arriving, on our way back home. So let's look at the chorus. You may wonder why I haven't included the bar with the word home in the verse. It could equally be considered the end of the verse or the beginning of the chorus, but it makes more sense to me with the new time signature in the chorus. The chords in the chorus are just a G, a D, and a C. So the 1, 5 and the 4 chord of the key, the primary major chords. And this chorus is 7 bars long and starts off in 3/4 time. So we have a bar of G, the bar with the word home, that has 3 beats, 1, 2, 3. Then the second bar has 2 beats of D, and then a beat of C on the third beat of the bar. Then the third bar goes back to 3 beats of G. The fourth bar is another bar with 2 beats of D, and then a C on the third beat of the bar. Bar 5 is another bar of G with all 3 beats, 1, 2, 3. Bar 6 goes into 2/4 time with 2 beats of C, and then in the final bar we're back to 4/4 time, but we just play a single G on the first beat of the bar, and then count 3 more beats before the intro riff starts again and takes us into verse 2. So if I count the beats of the bar whilst playing a straight down up pattern, it should sound something like this. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth. And now with the lyrics, but before anyone wonders why I'm counting into several bars of 3/4 with a count of 4, it's because that the final bar of the verse, the one we are coming from, is in 4/4. So home, we're on our way home, we're on our way home, we're going home. So verse 2 and the next chorus are identical in form to what we've just looked at, but with different lyrics in the verse. So then after that we get to the bridge. The good news is that the bridge is all back in 4/4 time. However, we do modulate or change key here to the key of G minor. This is what is known as the parallel key to G major. In other words, both keys have a G as their tonic or tonal centre, but because one is minor and one is major, it gives us a new palette of notes and hence chords to play with. So the chords in the 6-bar bridge are a bar of B flat, a bar of D minor, a bar of G minor, then a bar of A minor, then a bar of A minor 7, and finally a bar of D7, which is the 5 chord of the original key G major that wants us to resolve back to there for the next verse. So the chord A minor or A minor 7, which is the 2 chord in both G major and G minor, is actually acting as a pivot chord here to change key back to G major. So using the A minor 7 to the D7 is giving us what they call a strong 2-5-1 resolution back to the original G major. So the A minor 7 being the 2, the D7 being the 5, and then we're resolving to G for the next verse. The bridge starts after a 2-bar crescendo on the drums at the end of the chorus. The first 2 chords are just played as single strums, but one of the guitars plays a syncopated preempt on the and 4 and of the bar to change to the D minor and the G minor. From G minor they just play down up again, but crescendo on the D7 chord to take us back to the next verse. I will just demonstrate the bridge for you. and I have memories longer than the road that stretches out ahead. Now I won't play through the whole song in the hope that YouTube don't put a copyright claim on this video, but you've essentially now got everything you need to play the song, as everything I've covered just gets repeated. There's also an outro that I haven't covered, but that just sits on a G major chord with an improvised vocal over the top. If you listen to the original, you'll hear what I mean. Okay, so that's it for two of us. I will link to the video of the original recording by the Beatles here so you can get a feel for the whole song form, play along with it. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. None of this costs you anything. If you would like a PDF of the song sheet with the lyrics, the chords and the intro tab, if you buy me a coffee, see in the description below how to do so. I will email a copy over to you. Thank you for watching and bye for now.